Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Mindful Conversation with Dr.DawoodVaid. And today I'm going to take you a series of questions that parents have been asking about NIOS. Some of you know me through the various WhatsApp group I'm part of, through maybe some of the seminars I've taken online. I am very much for alternate schooling. No, I don't mean anything harm or bad about good schooling. There are wonderful principles in good schools across. But for parents like us, we need choice. And NIOS fulfill those needs despite being a board which is much maligned and unfortunately what is stereotyped. NIOS is a very progressive board. In India, there are national boards and state boards and international board. NIOS is one of the three national board along with CBSE and ICSE. So what I'll do is this could be part two of a conversation on NIOS because the questions may be a little more deeper. So if you want to know basic, you can go to part one. However, I have shared these questions on a Word document. I'll read them, I'll add my inputs, and also probably it'll spare you the trouble of seeing me the entire thing. All right, so where do we start with? NIOS stands for National Institute of Open Schooling. Basic knowledge. One resource that you probably should earmark if you want to know about NIOS is the website nios.ac.in. Now, the website is robust, it has everything you need. However, if you are a newbie, you might be lost. It's like going to IRCTC to book a train ticket. And if you don't know, you might get lost. The website lags, it's slow. However, it's a great tool. It's improving every year. Another resource which I would recommend is visiting my website, which is Golden Sparrow Hub Schooling, not out of promo. I put a lot of these shorter sessions on NIOS, these Q&As. Probably you can search through it. And yes, I run an online school, which is from K-12, where it follows Cambridge and a lot of other basic ideas from other boards. But however, my 10th and 12th are through NIOS. Fair enough. Let's jump to around 10, 12 questions that we've been asked. And thank you so much to Shweta ma'am and others who've compiled these questions and asked me. As I said, this is level 2 of NIOS questions. What am I talking about? Quickly, who organizes Personal Contact Program, PCP, for NIOS Science Practical and how are they scheduled? What is the PCP? When you appear and register for an NIOS examination, you are allocated a study center, which is something with the 5 kilometer radius. You choose your study center. It could be a local school, it could be a center, and PCPs are basically small classes that are organized by these study centers. I call them, study center easy. The organized or the word for it is AI center, accredited institution. So these are the AAs which are till 8th. AI is for 10th and 12th. These are the institutions where you go. Now, essentially, an NIOS directive is you have to do 30 PCP sessions per subject, including theory and practical. Religiously, no center does 30. Probably you will find them to do 3 to 5 centers, which is good enough. So you have a trainer or a teacher allocated for a subject, let's say data entry or mathematics or science. So a student can go there, attend these practicals or theory classes, and they can solve the doubts, they can get answers, they can probably look at other notes around. So that is what is a PCP class. When does a PCP happen? So if you're writing an exam in April and March, April, your PCP essentially will be somewhere in Jan and Feb. It starts from December. You have to contact, again, I repeat, you have to contact your study center. Go once and ask them when are the PCP classes scheduled. I know a student who was just waiting for a PCP class. The center put some chart there. They will not contact you. That's one of the challenge. So she missed out. Of course, we went and spoke to the principal and they allowed, but that is very important. Attendance is compulsory in the PCP classes and internal marks are given. So you see a practical of NIS, for example, data entry is 60 marks. Maths is 15 marks. But it's divided in two parts. The practical examination, which is summative examination, like a Cambridge essay, and you have formative examination, FA. PCP classes forms formative examination. So 7.5 marks for maths or science is in PCP class. 30 marks for data entry is in PCP class. So make sure you do not miss the PCP classes. If you're part of Golden Sparrow, well, that's our responsibility to inform you. We go back to the center, we check with them, but there's always a communication. That's what we do. So help a child, ensure that they do not miss the PCP classes. Question number 2. Are there any pre-boards or pre-lab practice exams for NIOS students? Answer, no. It's not mandatory, but your PCP class may cover those. However, Probably as an online school, we do these. So before you go to a practical, you will have to make something called a journal. So these are basically, you know how a science journal is, there is one blank page, one is the written. There will be at least 10 to 15 experiments that your study center will tell you, and essentially you will have to note them. You will have to copy from a journal and write it down. This is a part of your marks. So study center may voluntarily have these mock exams to help you prepare, but they are not mandatory. They're purely center managed, not NIOS responsibility. NIOS have told you, do your 30 PCP classes. It's upon the center how many and how engaging they are. Some classes are very good. I'm one of the PCP instructors, and I know I've taken geography, I've taken subjects like mass communication, tourism for 12. I love them. They're science and maths PCP classes. Depending on the teacher, how you make them interactive. Question number 3. What is the final exam center for NIOS, theory and practical assigned, and what is the selection process? So exam centers are now not chosen by students. Your study center you choose. Exam centers nearly are your nearest Kendra Vidyalayas, are your nearest local centers, and you will not be given too far away. See, NIS is a board that listens. When my daughter attended her first class that was during COVID, we got a center which was almost 1.5 hours away. I live in a place called Navi Mumbai, Nerul, and I got a center somewhere in Hiranandani Powai. Add the traffic to it. We rode to the center. I went to Delhi. I was in Noida. They listened to us. So my next center becomes a Kendra Vidyalaya close by in Mankur. So the point is, you will get a center you cannot choose. It will be written in your hall ticket. One small point, you will have 3 different hall tickets that you need to download. A PCP hall ticket, a practical hall ticket, and a theory hall ticket. So all practicals are done by the study center. So practicals are done. So if you are writing exam in April, March is when your practical will happen in a study center, and April is where you will go and write your theory examination. Question number 4. Have there been any reported issues or inconsistencies with NIS examination, paper evaluation, or answer copy checking in the past? Boy, NIOS is the largest, I repeat, the largest open schooling board in the world. So, yes, like any other board, there are occasional complaints about delayed results, which happens very often. The results are delayed, mark discrepancies, and unfair evaluation. That, however, does not mean that the board is corrupt or there is a bureaucratic process. Like any board, NIS is improving, working harder, so we need to give them their credit. NIS will introduce something called digital uploading and scanning of on-like mark entry. It has improved a lot. So there is something called TMAs, tutor mark assignment. You write these questions, 6 questions, you upload it. No more of these which are given to a study center. You upload and you can see your marks absolutely. In case, I don't know, I had students. So when I have 100 students every year appearing for an examination, there might be a couple of them. So that's the ratio. I have only got 5 students. So it's 5%, which is not 6 sigma, but it's better than not having so many students complain who come back and, sir, I did not get the expected marks I wanted. There is an option, we'll go back to that, for re-evaluation and rechecking. 2 different options. One is I just want them to count my marks, so it's rechecking. Other thing is I want you to re-look at my paper, it's re-evaluation, different fees that you pay for it from 500 rupees to 1,000 rupees, but you can immediately apply if you think there's an error. So the process is there. When are the NIOS final exams typically announced? So for an April-May exam combo, the results are usually July. Don't have expectations in June. So your answer will be July. NIS has the last results declared from all the board. The earliest probably is ICSE, then your state board, then CBSE. So probably we panic, but no, do not worry. Students get admission in colleges. The portal opens up everywhere. So NIS students are as eligible as any student, but the results are a month later than a other board. October and November, if you're writing exams there, expect results in January. So you're looking at 45 days window minimum to 50 days window for your results to come in. Results can, of course, be very easily accessed on the portal. You can go to the portal and to the results, or directly to results.nios.ac.in. Question number 6. Who checks the answer script for NIOS and ODES, or which are ODE basically 3, 5, and 8 grade examination? Well, it is by experience examiners appointed by NIOS regional center. So every state has a regional center. In Maharashtra, it's in Pune. In Tamil Nadu, it's in Chennai. So you have your state regional centers. I know some of the examiners, very competent, very good. These are on par with CBSE examinations checking. So evaluation is done at regional hub marks. So it's your region center. ODES, which is a later thing, we'll talk about it. If you have, say, from a different board and you want to come extra exam on demand, like I want to write in mid-year, not necessarily wait for October. I want to write right there in September. The evaluation is centralized. So these are all checked in Delhi in the Noida office, and results are computer published within a set time. What's the set time? Here. When or what is the result awaiting time for ODE? On-demand examination is around 45 days to 2 months time after the examination that you've written down. Students can lose their enrollment number, one of the most important numbers that you've got. Use your enrollment number for everything. If you know your enrollment number and date of birth, you can log in. You don't even need to remember your password and your email for that. 8. Is it possible to change selected subjects after initial registration with NIOS? Yes. So usually NIS allows 4 subjects to the minimum. I recommend 5, which is a mandate for most of the colleges that you go to, or higher grades, 11th and 12th you go to. And in fact, 7 is a maximum subject you can do. Usually 5 or 6 is great. In Golden Sparrow, we insist on 6. So you can say you have a change of heart. I took maths, but I don't think I want maths in my grade 10. You can go back and change to psychology. You can do a home science. You want to add science to it, you can do that within that specific time. You can go to NIOS. There's a nominal fee. I guess it's 580 or 480 rupees per subject, depending on it. You can go and change and request through the portal. It's very transparent, but do not be in a hurry. It will take its time. Probably always 45 days is what I say, but you will get your, the new subject will be immediately uploaded there. 12 minutes, take a deep breath. I've got a few more questions to answer. I hope you are pausing, listening to it, drinking sipping some tea, but this will help you understand NIOS better. It's very organized, it's very central. The answers are there for most of the questions we ask. Who should be contacted to correct errors and mistakes? Don't make mistakes by filling form. My recommendation, see, form filling is easy, it's not difficult. But if you think it's your child's examination online, reach out to experts, reach out to Golden Sparrow, tell some of the HRs to fill the form. It is a small amount that you pay, but somebody is responsible and helping you. I'm not asking you to do it, I'm suggesting to you. So basically, you can also go to AI center if there is a correction. Let's say one of the things I really personally recommend is ensure your name and date of birth is written properly. Subjects we can change. But when you write a wrong name, the spelling mistake in a father's name, in Aadhaar card, there is double A for Amir or for Ashish, and you put one A, trouble. NIS will make you cry. That's a problem. You will have to file an affidavit. You might have to get a 100 rupee bond paper. You might have to get notarized. We have seen parents make silly mistakes while filling. So please, reason being your date of birth. What happens? This is a government approved copy. So moment you get your approval, it means government have endorsed it. So NIS is strict with this, right? So contact your regional center with a supporting document in case you got it wrong. There immediately you can go on request. You can put a request of name change, address change. NIS is very particular. Another small input that I've not written down. If you do not have, let's say, be on rent. A lot of us are on rent, but I don't have a rental agreement which says my name. For years, somebody else is the rental and I'm just paying electricity bill in their name. NIS will not accept it. So please ensure that when you give correspondence address or your permanent address, it is yours with Aadhaar card or with a rental agreement or with the electricity bill. I don't know, for whatever reason, electricity bill is still the best one document, even in passport office, to make that. In case it's really bad, you can raise a ticket. You can email support@nis.ac.in, or you can put a ticket on the website, and hopefully 90% cases are resolved. Why not 90? It's 100%. Some takes longer than others, depending on the mistakes we made. Number 10. Do students need to pass theory and practical separately? Yes, that's a question. Or is it one result based? No. Students need to pass both theory and practical separately. So they are like, SYC. Only pass theory. Still, you need to pass in practical. So example, you just absent in a painting practical. You have passed in theory, but you fail in practical. You need one third, which is 33% passing mark in theory, 33% passing mark in practical. It's the other way around. You usually pass in practical, but theory you not put an effort. You will not be passed there. So please ensure that you pass in both and work hard for both. What are the study material that you get in NIOS? Well, NIOS has these books which sometimes never comes. Please ensure this is a little effort that we need to put in. These PDFs are available online. Yes, I know it's an effort to download the PDF and then print it. It's expensive, but that's the effort. What I usually say is don't download the entire book. Let's say I know my books will arrive, but it might take a little longer. I'm not going to finish my entire 22 chapters of English in 2 months. So I'll only download 2 chapters. I'll only download 3 chapters of maths. I'll only download a couple of chapters of science. Start learning from them. Physical printed ones. If you're an online digital person, it's always available. Number two, I also recommend you buying these resource guides available on Amazon, very easy. For example, you're doing an English, so 202, probably the code of English, NIOS. Put the guide name, you will usually get TOPS guide or one of the other names. Buy those guides. It's 200, 300 rupees guides, very good resources. They also have solved question and answers there. It helps you. There are digital portals there. Of course, this NIS's own Swayam portal, NIS's YouTube channel, which is like Krishi Darshan or Doordarshan. In my days, nobody likes it. I hope, NIS, I'm sorry, but improve it. I also have a lot of chapters that we had done in Golden Sparrow available for you on the Golden Sparrow website. Some of the chapters we've done, like I do it for my daughter, mass communication, or now I'm doing painting and I upload them. So it could be helpful for you. And as always, I said your website, ebooks, and your digital guides are very, very good. Okay, running through the last 2 questions. How does the difficulty and complexity of language papers in NIS compare to CBSE examination? Wonderful. So, it is said, ICSE is the best in terms of English. CBSE is best in terms of maths. NIS is in between. It's sandwiched between it. English in NIS is simpler, more flexible. So if I can look at, grade 10, there is Rabindranath Tagore Gurudev's, where the mind is without fear. Beautiful chapter. There's a funny chapter on Tiger Goes to Circus, something like that when I was teaching. It's an easier, simpler. There is a grammar component, there is a literature component, there is an essay component, letter writing, the way a normal English paper is. The focus here is on comprehension and expression. You see, India is a big country. So you don't have a board which is catering to one demographics. Unlike, let's say, IGCSE, it knows IGCSE is catering to a specific group of people, high income. So their question papers are designed this way. NIS is for a rural India and a student sitting in Kolkata and Delhi with very rich vocabulary. So the papers are divided and made into that way. NIS, if you're listening, I have a suggestion. The question papers have English and Hindi right after one another. I think it's too complicated for a child to do it. I wish NIS separates Hindi paper and English paper, and they're two different things, so you can just pick one. It saves on printing error also. Anyway, grading students to be student friendly, NIS have good question papers. All you can at least go and look at least last 10 years question paper, April paper, October papers. If you look at 5, you get 10 papers. Solving papers is a big help in scoring better. Anybody who says NIS students don't get good marks has lazy students, do not have worked hard. I have got students who have scored national highest in maths and science. They've scored above 90%. NIS is not very generous with marks, unlike a ICSE student. Sometimes, we complain 99 marks, 100 marks for a student, not about the board. Someone is checking in the school, you're getting 100, there is no scope of improvement. In NIS, there is a central body checking it. So if you get a 95 in maths, which I got some students do it, brilliant. Subjects like data entry and painting, because the practicals have a lot of marks. I've got students go 99 in painting, and I take it with a pinch of salt. I say you might be a wonderful artist, but 99 in painting, subjective. So good, you score well, and who's complaining when you have good marks? Last question. Thank you for listening to 20 minutes of my question answer. Take your pause. What is the process of re-evaluation after the result in NIS? And do students get a photocopy of the answer sheet on request? So there is a rechecking and re-evaluation within 15 days of students declaring results. So yes, there is a process. Go to the NIS portal. I've also done a small series on how do you do it. Small fee, and you go to the portal. If the mark changes are uploaded, updated mark sheet is issued. Yes, students can request again a photocopy of the answer sheets on payment. So you can also get the photocopy of your answer sheet evaluation. They're working hard on it. You will also get your original TC and mark sheet, and they are also there available on DigiLocker. You know, join your NIS results or any results with DigiLocker. It's the new thing. NIS also gives APAR number, which is very, very valuable, but that is a conversation some other day. I hope you learned. I hope you enjoyed. You can always reach out to me, WhatsApp me at 99870603330, or email me. Look at the website. I hope you enjoy. All the best. Let's decode the stigma that people have. Let and understand NIS. Good luck. Goodbye. Thank you so much.